Hello, hello. Welcome to the Alignment is Your Biggest Brand Message Masterclass. I'm so excited to get started with you guys today. If you are joining in the live stream and you're catching this live, say hello below. Let me know where you're coming from. Give me the thumbs up so I know that this is streaming okay and you can see me. If you are catching the replay, comment below #replay. That helps me know who's seen this and make sure that everything streams correctly and posts to the group correctly. So that would be super helpful. Thank you so much. First of all, I need to apologize. I am learning some new tech workflows and I made a mistake and I sent an old email that was from like last year or way earlier this year. So some of you received the incorrect email, but everything should be up to date now, and you should have received an email from me within the last 30 minutes or so that includes the handout sheet, an attachment to the email with the handout sheet for this masterclass. And it also includes a link so that you can go check out the full ebook that goes way more into depth about things. Let me find a picture of the cover. I don't have that available here, so never mind. But there's also the full ebook that is Your Alignment is Your Biggest Brand Message, and it goes into way more depth. But for the purpose of this master class, we're going to be going over your handout. So comment below, let me know, yes, I got the handout, or no, I don't have the handout yet, and we'll make sure that you get it by the end of the master class. If you comment, then I can help you make sure that you get that. And then also let me know, do you know your human design? Have you looked up your human design chart yet? If not, then you're going to want to go to jovianarchive.com, and there is a link at the top there. I'll put it in the comments below so that you can easily find the link. Yay, Renee's here. Okay, great. I'm glad this is working. So if you have not pulled your human design chart yet, go to jovianarchive.com, and there will be a link at the top that says Get My Chart, and you simply put in your birthday, the time you were born, and where you were born, and it will populate your human design chart for you. It's going to look confusing if you're new to human design. You're like, what is this crazy picture and all of these numbers and all the things? Don't worry about that. The only thing I want you to know from your human design chart is your human design type, authority, and profile. And today in this masterclass, I'm going to be speaking to your human design type and your human design profile. So once you have that, comment below and let me know. Tell me what your human design type, authority, and profile are. I would love to hear. Okay, so where did this masterclass come from? I have been doing, let me introduce myself a little bit. I'm Annalie Yelm. Most of you guys know me because you've been connected to me either on Instagram at Bold Empowerment, or here in my Facebook community, or in real life when we've connected and networked. So I'm so excited to come to you and share some of my zone of genius. I have been in the business world. I studied business in college, and when I graduated from BYU, I then took on a career in, well, while I was still in college, I created multiple businesses where I was in the direct sales network marketing realm. And I absolutely loved that because I loved helping people to experience great products that helped them get better results. I did a few different things. And what I learned in that experience was just the power of community, the power of personal development and growth, and the power of learning how to have great business mindset and sales and strategy skills. And that was a great companionship to the education I was receiving at university to be able to dive into business and entrepreneurship in my studies as well. So after I graduated from college, I went on to continue to have my own business, but I also started a career in retail management. When I was in retail management, I helped to, one of my career roles was I helped to oversee the sales floor for a store that did $60 billion in sales annually. And what was so cool about this is that I helped from everything for like setting up the sales floor to for the visual aspect, the strategic aspect of placement and marketing. I really helped to with the sales strategy around that and checking out the numbers and making sure that we were looking at the numbers and the results we were getting and making tweaks to get even better numbers. I helped with the customer experience, making sure that the culture was being role modeled through me and through the customer experience that I created, helping to increase cart sales for the clients that came into our stores. Then my favorite part, in addition to just the business strategy, sales, and customer experience side of my career, was the leadership development and people development. And this is where I was able to really shine in my career. I was responsible for helping to mentor and guide my direct reports, my team leaders, and the team members below them in advancing in their career path and helping them with their leadership development and growth. But I also was a huge proponent for just their personal growth and setting and achieving goals. So this is something that I've been passionate about from the very beginning for over 20 years. And as my journey has progressed, and when I was on maternity leave with my second child, that's when I knew it was time for me to make a career change. Even though I had been promoted every single year and been growing in my own leadership path every single year within my career, and I was thriving there, I knew that it was time for me to better support my family and better support my own personal ambitions by not being working every holiday and nights and weekends. It was time for me to shift into having more alignment and balance in my personal life and my professional life. And that is when I began to pursue a career that was 100% entrepreneurship and being a stay-at-home mom first and entrepreneur second. That did not stop me from setting and achieving huge goals, though. And as I went on my path to achieving these huge goals, I learned a lot about what it takes to have grit and drive and ambition. And I've always been a high performer, and I've always been able to achieve really big goals. But the interesting thing is that I recognized early in my entrepreneurship journey and early in my career journey that not everybody had the natural skill set and strength of alignment. And this is something that sometimes people have naturally, and sometimes they just need a little bit of training and mentorship to completely change the game and completely change how they are attracting clients and opportunities and how they are personally experiencing their endeavors in their life and their business. So what this looks like is there is something to be said about your personal alignment and your personal energy. And when you couple that with the strategy, with the skill set that you are, like every woman here that works with me or that connects with me and masterminds with me, this is what I know for sure. You are wicked smart. You are brilliant at your craft. You're already extremely skilled and extremely qualified at what you do. Maybe the missing piece is creating a streamlined strategy, but also making sure that the alignment piece is there so that the energetics are naturally attracting your ideal clients and opportunities. And that's what today's masterclass is about. So I want you to think about when you show up to a space, like let's imagine that you're going to an event with other women in business. And I want you to think about maybe the most recent event that you've attended where you were in a room with lots of amazing women. And I want you to think about the women who stood out to you the most. What did you notice about them? Did you notice their joy and positivity? Did you notice their heart to serve and to give generously in their conversations? Did you notice the way that they carried themselves, their poise, their natural confidence? Did you notice how they held themselves and how they spoke with clarity and confidence when they had the opportunity to speak? I want you to pay attention to the things that you notice about other women that you admire or that you were naturally drawn to, attracted to, and try to maybe take some notes or share in the comments things that you notice about those women that really resonated with you, that you connected with, or that you really admired or saw in them? Share below in the comments so that we can start seeing some of the ideas that pop up here. That is a huge piece of that is not necessarily just their own skills. A lot of it is their alignment. Alignment is something that people feel. When you walk into a room, before you even say words, people feel something in your presence. And alignment is a big piece of making sure that what people feel from you is authentic, true, magnetic, and it will naturally connect with people in an unspoken level. And so here's one of my clients that I worked with. She is somebody who is extremely networked within her community, and she is seen as a leader in many organizations within the community that she's a part of. And she always shows up to a room with this bubbly, happy face. She shares about her business with confidence and clarity. Everything is correct, and she's like nailing it from the strategic and the execution standpoint of sharing her business and sharing and connecting with others. She's happy, she's positive, she has a confidence and poise in the way she carries herself, she's saying the right things. But one thing was happening to her is that even though she was showing up with the correct face and showing up saying the right things, in her networking meetings, there was an opportunity for the women in the room to write down on a slip of paper and say who they wanted to connect with one-on-one to meet deeper. And it had been months since she had received a request to connect with her one-on-one. And so when she started working with me, we began to dig into this. We talked a lot about, okay, what is going on here? How are you feeling in your life? And how are you feeling in your business? And where is the energetic disconnect between the face that you're putting on and the words that you're saying and how you're actually feeling inside, the inner work, and how that is impacting the outer work? And we did some work to really help her dial in on where she was out of alignment, where she was feeling those feelings of frustration, where she was feeling unsatisfied and disappointed. And as we started to work on some of the inner work, she was able to create a game plan and a strategy for being able to prepare herself to show up with her most vibrant, fulfilled, aligned mindset and energy before she walked into a room. And the next month, after we did this work together to work on the alignment piece of her strategy, she received multiple, like many one-on-one connection requests. And she had the same smile. She had the same level of confidence and poise. She was saying the exact same words. The only thing she changed in her strategy was the inner work and the alignment and energetic work in what she was doing. Does this connect with any of you guys? Have you guys ever experienced this before? Like where you can tell a difference when you're in a good mood and you're feeling confident and you're feeling vibrant, the results that you get in connecting with other people and in having sales conversations are just significantly different than when you're in that feeling of being stuck or unsure or unclear or just feeling off in your own natural energy. Give me a yes, girl, or I relate, or I know what you're talking about. I want to know if this is translating or if it's resonating with you. So share in the comments below and let me know. Okay, perfect. So this is basically setting the foundation for what I want to talk to you about today. Your alignment is your biggest brand message. Sometimes your alignment is what represents your personal brand and all of your branding and your marketing and in your sales and in your networking, even more than the actual marketing strategy. Although I do work on marketing strategy and execution too. That's a huge piece of working with me. But what I want to focus on today is how the vibe and the feeling and the alignment that you have is one of the secret sauce. It's like the secret sauce that a lot of people are missing. Sometimes if you're doing all the right things but not getting the results, it's an alignment issue. So where this starts is I want you to comment below and let me know what your human design type is. That's where I'm going to start. So I have been coaching. I've been a human design informed business coach for the last 3.5 years. And the reason why I love this tool is it's a profiling system that teaches you about yourself and how you are designed to move through life true to your nature. It helps you have a clear strategy for how you're meant to interact with other people to get results. And it also teaches you a little bit about your natural strengths and where you can zero in on your zone of genius so that you're using your energy in the most efficient, effective, and powerful way possible. With your human design type, each type has a way that their energy is naturally strong. So I want to start with teaching a little bit about some of the terms in human design. Each type has a strategy. The strategy is the term for how you're designed to interact with others true to your nature. Then also within the human design type is the term signature. Signature, this is the emotional experience or the feeling that you will have when you are in alignment. It's the telltale sign that you are in alignment when you feel that signature feeling. When the next term within your type is called the not self theme. The not self theme is the telltale sign that you are out of alignment. It is the emotional trigger that you are experiencing when you are out of alignment. Now, what I like to say is that all of our emotions are just data. One of the most incredible skills that you can grow and develop in is your emotional intelligence. And what emotional intelligence is being aware of your emotions, being accountable for your emotions, radically accountable, like that self-leadership accountability, and using your emotions as data so you can pivot and change your strategy or shift and change experiences in your life so that you do experience that signature, that feeling of being in alignment more frequently. Now, how does this relate to marketing? How does this relate to your branding and your brand message? Whatever your signature is, that should be the main vibe and feeling of your personal brand and your business brand. So if you are a generator or a manifesting generator, raise your hand, say, I'm a manifesting generator, or I'm a generator. Let me know in the comments. And I'm not sure, it's hard to tell if the comments are coming through. So let me know, whether you're watching the replay or the live, comment now. Let me know if you're a generator or a manifesting generator. Generators and manifesting generators, your signature is the feeling of satisfaction, being satiated by life itself. It's that feeling of it's true fulfillment and joy. So when you are feeling satisfied, content, fulfilled, joyful, all of those different kinds of words can represent the feeling of satisfaction. That is the feeling of alignment for you. So what does it look like from a branding perspective? A lot of times in our branding, in our personal branding, there will be an energy or a feeling that people have when they connect with your brand. And the feeling that you want them to have is that you're going to help them create more satisfaction. You're going to help them be more fulfilled in when your client or customer uses your service or when they buy your products. It's going to lead to the emotional satisfaction. It's going to lead to the result. The result is going to create satisfaction, fulfillment. So what that means is that the transformational promise that you want to focus on, the emotional connection with that transformational promise when you're marketing and selling and when you're representing your brand, should lead with satisfaction and fulfillment. Okay? Thumbs up. You guys got it? Are you there with me? Let me know. Okay, we'll dive deeper into this too. Now, if you are a manifester, comment below. I'm a manifester. Let me know in the comments. Manifestors, your signature emotion is the feeling of peace. So your you are seeking, you crave this state of being or an environment without resistance, where you're able to have space to dream and cast vision for your future. You operate best when you're grounded in inner peace, and that is the vibe, the feeling of your brand. So when you are speaking to the problems that you solve, and when you're speaking to the transformational promise that you can deliver for your clients and your customers, either through your services or your products, you want to focus on how that transformation and that result that they're after is going to create the feelings of peace. So that may be a feeling of like being fulfilled in your life, and you are fulfilled because you are at peace. You're releasing the mental pressure or the pressure to do a lot, or you're releasing the overwhelm. Like all of these things can be similar transformational promises or similar results that we're getting our clients. But a generator and a manifesting generator is going to be focusing on the lens or the vibe and the feeling of how that transformational promise is creating satisfaction and fulfillment. And a manifester will be focusing on how it's creating peace. So you'd want to focus on the freedom, the spaciousness, the inner calm, the self-trust. These are all things that you can communicate through the lens and the feeling of that peace. So now let's talk about our projectors. Raise your hand if you're a projector. Comment below, I'm a projector, if you know. My projectors, your signature feeling is the feeling of success. I love this so much. So you desire to achieve optimal outcomes effectively. You also desire material success, which brings security, safety, and luxury of waiting for the right opportunities. So these three things are three different ways that you can embody and have the vibe and the feeling of success. Success is not necessarily for all my projectors. I have of my projector clients, I've had some that were very focused on the money results, like the money results that you were going to be getting from working with them or getting their services, or the authority building, the recognition, and the titles. Those types of things can be the way of success. But I've also had projector clients that were like defining, like having the freedom to define life on your terms. Like your version of success was maybe not making tons of money or getting on these huge stages. Maybe your version of success was I'm living on my homestead and my schedule is mine, and I get to teach my children according to my core values, and I'm creating a business that is super fulfilling and rewarding, and creates some financial reward, but maybe doesn't need to be like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just, how are you defining success? How do you feel success? But projectors, your branding and your messaging and the energy and the feeling of your brand and your business needs to be through the lens of like, how is this creating success? However you choose to define success, because there's no rules here. Okay, now we have our reflectors. Raise your hand if you're a reflector, or comment below reflector. Reflectors, you are seeking your signature feeling, or the vibe of your branding should be the feeling of surprise and delight. Like you are just delighted by your life and your business. You are delighted by the transformation that you're helping your clients and customers get. You're delighted by the results. It's very much like you are in total awe and wonder as you delight in your life. You reflect the state of the environment and the community and the group, and you mirror what's desired. So you get to be a reflection of what's possible. You get to be a reflection of the results and how that creates delight. So you are a great like temperature set point for what is possible, and you set the tone for the experience. So the client experience and the client journey is very much a reflection of your alignment. And you are very in tune with those things, and you know how to determine the overall health of somebody's experience. And that is your superpower and your gift. And that's the vibe and the energy of your brand, is being able to tune in to the health of things and be able to make small shifts and changes, mirror and reflect what's currently happening and what's possible to get the result that you want. So your personal alignment needs to be about that delight, being in total awe of your environment and your experience, and how you are helping to create that for your customers and their customer journey. Okay, now we can all, every single human design type in your branding, your brand messaging can be talking about similar results. You always want to be identifying like what is the problem that you're solving and what is the transformation or the process, the transformational promise that you're taking your client through. How are you solving these problems? What is your unique way of solving these problems, like your superpower, your unique strengths? And then what is the result that they're getting, the transformation, the full transformational promise? We can all be speaking to similar things. I'm going to help you grow your sales revenue. I'm going to help you get more clients. I'm going to help you have more peace of mind. I'm going to help you be more profitable. Like when we're talking about women in business, these are all similar results that women in business want. But the flavor and the feeling and the vibe that you go about speaking these things should be through the lens of your human design signature, the sign that you are in alignment. I want to talk about one of my other clients who was, she was, again, had an incredible strategy. She was doing all the right things in her business, and her products and offerings were absolutely incredible. They were definitely helping people get results and have a transformation. But every time she showed up in rooms or was trying to market and sell, it was like the words were the correct words, but her personal energy was like not at all satisfaction. In fact, she seemed to be a little bit like her frustration feelings were coming through. Every conversation she had were about, I'm so stuck, or this isn't working. I'm doing all the right things and it's not working, or people got it, but they're not finishing it, so they're not getting their results. It was just like everything about her conversations she was having outside of promoting and selling or networking, like within her networking and within her connecting with people, it was very much just feeling so stuck in that frustration or stuck in that bitterness or stuck in that disappointment, whatever your not self theme is. If that is the main energy that you are feeling when you are talking to people and you are representing your branding, or when you are working on your messaging, you can have the correct words of your brand messaging totally dialed in. But if you don't have the correct energy feeling to match it, it's going to fall flat. What it does is it creates a lack of trust. Your potential clients and your clients will not trust you if the words you're saying do not match the energy that they're feeling or the emotions that they're feeling when interacting with you. So that is what your vibe and feeling of your brand message is. You need to have those feelings of alignment so that it will translate correctly. Because if there is a disconnect between the strategy and the execution and the brand messaging from the words standpoint, or the marketing strategy execution, if there's a disconnect between the doing and how they feel around you, or how you feel when you're speaking these words, it will create a lack of trust, and people will know that you are not the one for them. So I just want you to take a quick inventory and make sure that you are in alignment with your brand messaging and the vibe and feeling of your brand. Okay, so you might be thinking, but Annalie, my life is kind of chaotic. Like, life is lifing. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I have a whole household to run. Plus I have passions and hobbies. I would like to have some friends so I'm not lonely. Like, you have a lot on your plate. I know you do. And it's not realistic for you to feel those feelings of your signature, those feelings of satisfaction and success and delight and peace all of the time. That's not what this is about. This is not about being in alignment 100% of the time. It's about making sure that when you are in sales conversations, when you are in networking conversations, when you are sharing your craft and your zone of genius, do an energy check before you do that to make sure that your energy is right. Never send an email when you are frustrated. Never connect with somebody over the phone with a discovery call when you are feeling disappointed or angry or bitter, or that disconnect, that not self theme. Make sure that you are in the correct place. So how do you do this? Let's say life is lifing, you got a lot going on and it's really not practical for you to, that doesn't mean that you don't work your business. It doesn't mean that you don't sell. It doesn't mean that you don't market. It doesn't mean that you don't move forward on your strategy. Here's what I suggest. I want you to imagine that you have a doorway, and as you walk through this doorway, you are leaving behind the life lifing. And as you walk through this doorway, you are temporarily putting a pause on all the ways that you're feeling out of alignment or overwhelmed or frustrated. And you walk through this doorway and you choose, you can tell your thoughts. I actually will tell my thoughts sometimes. Hey, frustration, thank you so much for showing up. I'm so grateful for the message that you're here, for the way that you're trying to help me tweak things so that I can have a better experience. Like, thanks for bringing me the data. You're not helpful right now. I don't need to listen to you now. I will be back later, but you were excused. And I will walk through this invisible imaginary doorway. And when I'm in this new room, I've left the frustration, I've left the discouragement thoughts in that other room, and now I can make sure that I am feeling those feelings of focusing on the alignment feelings. Other things that I will do is I'll take essential oils, I'll put them in my hands, and I'll take a deep breath to help uplift those feelings. I will put on a playlist of like my high vibe music, and I'll do a mini dance party. I will say positive affirmations and declarations. I will say a prayer. I do things to make sure that my energy is in that most vibrant, aligned state before I do any type of strategy execution or messaging and branding in my business or with my clients, my client work, or my potential clients. Okay, does that resonate with you guys? How many of you guys do something similar? I would love to hear some things. How do you get yourself in the right state? How do you get yourself in a high vibe state or in the right emotional state or the right mental state? But when you're doing things related to your personal brand or your business brand or in your business, what types of things help you guys get in that more vibrant state? Share in the comments below. I think it's so great when we share ideas with one another. Okay, the next thing that we're going to look at is there are some key superpowers that you have in your human design based on your profile. So in this handout, you will have received this in an email if you registered for the masterclass. If not, I can get you the link later. But depending what your profile is, there's some key superpowers that you have. So comment below, tell me what your profile numbers are. It would be a number 1 through 6, and then it has a slash, and then a number 1 through 6. So let me know what your 2 numbers are. If you have a 1 in your profile line, you are what's called the investigator, or the entrepreneurship language for this is the authority. You seek to learn from authority, and then you seek to become the authority yourself. You're here to become an expert in any subject. You're very introspective at first, and when this foundation of knowledge is set, then you will be asked to share. So a business tip for you, according to your 1 line, is your Instagram bio or your Facebook bio better list your qualifications. Talk about the authority that you've learned from. Talk about how you've become the authority now. How many students have you taught? How many clients have you had? How many master classes have you taught? Or how many, you can talk about your success markers from an authority building standpoint. What makes you qualified? How many certifications do you have? Or what certifications do you have that are deeper than the basic? Like, that is appropriate for you to do a little bit of a flex in your qualifications and your skills and what sets you apart. Are you somebody who has created and run a successful business, and maybe now you've pivoted to a new thing? So I'm going to use a friend as an example. So I just connected with somebody, and she is a brilliant, she's here actually. She's a brilliant piano instructor, and she's had a very successful business that she's run, and she's had a piano studio where she had like 19 piano students, and she did an incredible job with that. And now she has a very successful business that she's growing as a bookkeeper. Now, the way that she could showcase her authority or show her unique selling proposition, or what makes her super special, is, hey, I successfully ran my own business before. I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I know what it's like to be the CEO and to run the business and make sure that your numbers are good. And now I'm taking my lived experience, like my authority in that sense, and I'm going to now teach you how to do bookkeeping, not just as somebody who has been a bookkeeper forever, but somebody who has been just like you. So you sought to learn, and then you sought to become the authority. Now, I'm going to use that example again as we get to other numbers. So if you have a 2 in your profile line, that means that you have natural talents. You're the natural. You have natural talents that you don't see in yourself. You need lots of alone time and recovery time. You may be able to be very extroverted, but then you have to have introverted moments of really decompressing. Now, the interesting thing is that when the time is right, people are going to notice you, and they're going to call out your gifts, and that they're going to seek to learn from your natural gifts. So a business tip, if you have a 2 in your profile, let me know in the comments if you have a 2. You want to pay attention to what people tell you that you're good at. Pay attention to the compliments you receive. Pay attention to the things that people say that they love about you. And then you're going to want to market and sell that. So I have a 2 in my profile, and for decades, I remember when I was an executive leader in retail management, I had a meeting with my superior, and she was telling me about they had done feedback with all of the team leaders and the team members in our store. And she always asked for feedback on our upper level leadership, and that she was asking our direct reports for feedback. And she said every single team leader just talked about how positive I am and how I have this natural can-do energy, and I jump in and do the work, and I just had this fire starter momentum to get things done, and my energy and my happiness and my positivity was contagious, and it made them want to jump in and work harder and be positive and optimistic rather than complaining and seeing all the ways that we couldn't get it done. She said, I've never, ever asked for feedback on an upper level leader and had every single person in the room talk about how positive and uplifting and inspiring they were. That was the beginning of my career, 20 years ago. And since then, I've heard many, many times people talk about, when I walk into a room, I light up the room. They can just feel how positive and happy. I'm naturally a positive person. I'm well, cool, positivity. That's a great natural strength of mine. But I didn't begin to recognize that really is a superpower until I learned more about human design. I started paying attention to the feedback I was getting. And now that's a big part of what I market and sell. A lot of people choose to work with me because they know that I'm a place where they can come and be activated, and they can come get that dose of positivity and growth mindset, and how can we make this happen in the simplest way possible. And it's going to help create more of that satisfaction and that fulfillment in the doing of your business. And so that's something that I market as part of why me. So it's something that's not common, but my positivity and my natural happy can-do attitude is a big part of my differentiator. Okay, now if you have a 3 in your profile, comment below. Let me know you have a 3. So the 3 is what's called the pioneer, or the martyr is the human design language, but the entrepreneurship language for this is the pioneer. So you're here to discover what doesn't work. Life bumps into you, you bump into life, and it's from the failing that you learn how to be a better guide for others. So business tip from this is show the lessons and the better way from your failing forward. Speak and teach from your own lived experience. A lot of your marketing messaging and your branding messaging should be speaking to life lessons that you've learned from your experience or how you guided your clients through their lived experience. So going back to Renee as an example, the way that she could do this is as a bookkeeper. She has this amazing bookkeeping business, and she's helping entrepreneurs to save money and be able to make confident money decisions and to grow their money because they know their numbers. And she's able to do that because of her lived experience as a successful business owner who had a music studio. So that would be another way. It's like she could use as an example as an authority. She's an authority because she's been a successful business owner, so she's speaking from that authority of success. Or she is qualified and sharing wisdom because of her lived experience. That could be the 3-line. Here's the caveat that I have to the 3-line is you don't necessarily want to be really heavy in your mess, really heavy in your failing. You are a more powerful guide when you're teaching, when you're a couple steps past the failure. When you are in a place where you're not in it so heavy, but you are able to look back and see the wisdom that you've gained. See now the better way is more clear because you're a few steps past that. So keep that in mind if you're a 3-line. Share how you're failing forward and share your lived experience, but only when you've gotten to the point where you see the wisdom and you can be the guide through that. Now, if you have a 6 in your profile, we're going to be talking about the first 30 years of your life, you operate like that 3. So pay attention to what I just taught about the 3-line. We'll get to you in just a minute though. Now comment below if you have a 4 in your profile. The 4 is the opportunist, or the influencer is the entrepreneur language for this. Now my 4s, I have so many clients that have a 4-line, and it's just so incredible to see. They are here to influence people in their network. If you are a 4, people in your network listen to you, and then you need to take space from everyone again. So it's very much about connecting, networking, influencing others, and then take space. Now, for a business tip, if you have a 4-line, networking and connecting must be a top priority. It's a huge part of your marketing strategy. Make sure that you're making time for that. You want to showcase how you are a connector. You want to showcase your relationships and your community and your influence. Focus on referrals and client loyalty. How do you create a reward system or a loyalty program for keeping the clients who are already working with you that you're already influencing and positively impacting and getting results for? How do you keep them? Continue to grow your network. So focus on a customer loyalty experience and focus on referrals. A lot of your business will come from who you know and who they know. So referrals, networking, client loyalty are some of the best ways to invest into marketing in your business. Also, because you're an influencer, like you're somebody who it would be great to see some of the behind the scenes. Like, how do you live your life? What is a day in your work life like? Like, what is the process like of working with you? People would love to see more of that behind the scenes from you as a 4-line. So that's something that would be very helpful for your marketing messaging and your business, how to apply that human design 4-line into your business. Raise your hand if you're a 5-line. Comment below if you have a 5 in your profile. So the 5 is what's called the heretic, or the messenger is the entrepreneur language for this. 5-lines, people in crisis, they have a need, and they project onto you that you're here to lead and save others. So you don't realize it that you're even receiving projections from but people can pick you out of a room of like, she can help me. She's the one, like she can solve my problems. And then they have an expectation from you based off of their own lens of and they're filling in all the blanks of all the details that they don't know based off, they see you and they have an expectation based off of their own beliefs and thoughts, and they're projecting onto you. You're brilliant with strangers. So somebody will pick you out of a crowd. Like you might be somebody who, you're at the gas station and the stranger pumping their gas next to you will chat it up with you, and you can make a friend anywhere you go, or people can see you as a friend anywhere, but you pop in and then you pop out. You're not meant to stay there and become best friends with everybody or have super close relationships with everybody. Your circle is probably really tight and really intentional. So you're meant to influence more of the acquaintances and strangers. So you can still have a really powerful network and be an influence in your network, but you will have a big impact for the acquaintances and strangers. Now, a business tip, I want you to pay attention to allow yourself to be seen as the leader, but don't, people aren't meant to see all of you. They're not meant to be your bestie and see every little detail of your life. Only give help and advice when you're qualified. So just because somebody asks for help from you, don't just give advice unless you know you're qualified to give that advice or qualified to give that help. So be mindful of that, because that can help to mitigate incorrect perceptions and projections too. Master your mindset and recognize that you are here to trigger others. So a huge part of making sure that when you are marketing and doing your messaging or networking and connecting, you need to have a very strong mindset before a very strong energy boundaries when you walk into a room, because people will project onto you, and you're here to trigger others, to be to help others be challenged in their own beliefs and thoughts and perceptions. So be accountable for your role in other people's lives, but recognize that the triggers that people have towards you are not always your fault. Sometimes it's just about them. Okay, but you need to allow yourself to be seen, okay? Now, if you have a 6 in your profile line, comment below, I have a 6. My 6 lines, you're here to be a role model or a leader. The first 30 years of your life, you're operating like that 3 line. Life's bumping into you. You're bumping into life, and you're learning from your lived experience. And then at around 30 years old, you begin the integrating part of your journey, where you are now taking those lessons from your early life experiences, and you know the better way, what works better and what doesn't. You begin role modeling that for others. And then around 50, that's when you're considered an adult in human design. That's when you lead and model for others with the big perspective on life. So how does this apply to business? Your business tip as a 6 line is, people need to see you as a role model. They need to connect with your stories. You need to share wisdom from your lived experience, or from your clients and customers' lived experience. Like, how did you help them get that transformation? What is story selling is a critical if you are a 3 line or a 6 line. So be the role model. So my branding is, I'm a human design. I have a 6 line. I am a human design business mentor, and I help my clients create more fulfilling, joyful businesses that are successful without the overwhelm and without compromising their core values. Now, if I were to say, like, create more joy and fulfillment and success in your business, but then I'm showing up like completely depressed or frustrated or like complaining, then people would be like, what? There's a big disconnect between what you're saying you do and how you're actually living. So the way I live my life and the way I lead myself and my own emotional intelligence and strengths are critical in me being effective in my work. Does that mean that I'm never sad? No, actually, I really struggle bad with seasonal depression, and I do have like some down days. I have a lot of times where I'm feeling overwhelmed and frustrated, but that's why I am such a good role model and leader in it, because I've had life bump into me. I've had challenges in my life that I've learned to navigate with great skill and great strength, and I know the better way to get through these things, and that's why I'm so good at being a business coach that helps with both the personal life alignment and the professional life results because of my lived experience. Okay, so you have this handout. You will have gotten it through email. And so dive in, and I would love to hear any ahas you have in the comments below. But on the second page of this handout, there's some really good reflection questions. So I just want you to take a minute, and we're going to do a little bit of reflection questions for the last 10 minutes of this masterclass, because I want you to not only learn some like key ahas, but I want you to actually implement and take action so that you can see some results right away. So just take a minute right now to think about, in what ways do you feel in alignment in your business? Or in what ways does your brand identity or your brand messaging or the way that you are leading yourself in your business, how does that feel in alignment? And your alignment will be the feeling of satisfaction, peace, success, or delight, depending on your human design type. So just take a minute to reflect and write down a couple key bullet points. In what ways do you feel in alignment in your business? After you notate a couple of key things, then I want you to reflect on the other side of the page. What ways are you feeling out of alignment in your business? So that could be the feeling of frustration, anger, bitterness, or disappointment, depending on your human design type. In what ways are you feeling out of alignment? Okay. After you've written a few key bullet points, then I want you to take a quick inventory and think about what are you doing and how are you showcasing your brand message vibe and feeling? Like what's working, what's not working? Are there any inspired ideas or insights that you got from this masterclass? So how are you showcasing the satisfaction if you're a generator and a manifesting generator? How are you showcasing the peace if you're a manifester? How are you showcasing that success if you're a projector? And how are you showcasing that delight, surprise and delight if you're a reflector? What's working? What's not working? What inspired ahas or ideas came to you as you were learning about this? Just do a couple quick bullet points, and you can take time to journal in more depth on this later. Okay, now, how can you better strategically leverage the first number in your profile? So we talked about all the numbers in your profile. So whatever your first number is, what are some key ahas from the business tips I gave for each of the profile lines that you're like, oh, I need to make sure I do this more. So maybe you're a 1 line and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't even told people my certifications and skills or the number of clients that I've successfully helped. Like maybe you need to do some authority building in your bio or your about me page on your website. Or maybe you're a 6 line. You're like, oh, I need to tell more stories of my lived experience and role model. So think about your first line. What are some of the key business tips or superpowers that you can strategically leverage from your first number, and then do the same thing for your second number? What are a few key takeaways or key points that you have from that? Okay. All right, I just logged into the Facebook group, so I can see that there's a bunch of comments that were not showing up for me on my desktop, so I apologize if you've been commenting and I haven't seen the comment. After we finish the live stream here shortly, I will go back through and respond in the comments. So even if you're catching the replay, if you have questions or comments, share them below and I will get to them. But I just kind of want to wrap things up here by talking about, if there's anything that you take away from this, what I want you to do is to just close your eyes for a minute and do a quick visualization with me. This won't take very long, but close your eyes and I want you to imagine that you have already achieved the goals that you're aspiring towards right now. So whatever you have on your heart, it's like, oh, I really wish I had this result, or I really want to achieve this thing in my business right now. Whatever that big goal that's been impressed upon your heart, close your eyes and imagine that you have already achieved it. And then I want you to think about, if you were that woman, the woman who had already achieved the goals that you're aspiring towards, how would you walk into the room? How would you show up? What action would you take if you were already her? What small changes in your routines would you make? What small tweaks in your perception and your mindset would you make? How would you show up in the room? The reason why I want you to think about this is because so much of your alignment is not only making sure that you're leading yourself well and that you have strong emotional intelligence to recognize the data that you're receiving through your emotions, and that you're embodying that feeling of success and satisfaction. But also, so many times we just need the vision. Because the truth is that you probably already are the woman that you aspire to be. You're already the woman that's capable of achieving that goal because it's been impressed upon your heart. And your dreams and your visions and your goals and your desires, they're impressed upon your heart because you're capable. It's possible. But sometimes we get in our own way. We have conditioning, the way society or coaches or mentors or parents and teachers have told us we should be, and it disconnects from our own intuition, and it disconnects from our own natural superpowers because we're doing it the way that we thought we should instead of the way that we are inspired and guided and uniquely designed to, according to our human design and many other factors. But I want you to hold on to that vision and think in your day when you're feeling discouraged. I want you to say, okay, what would the version of me who has already achieved this goal, how would she show up in this moment? And I want to share with you that before this, I apologize to you guys because I had all these tech issues. I was like, whoops, sent the wrong email from months ago. My bad. Like, that's embarrassing. I totally messed up. I have been battling, like trying to not get sick. So my natural energy and my natural mood has been a little bit lower. I've been feeling discouraged. I dropped the ball on some of the things that I really should have already had done at this point. I had this mental chatter and these negative thought loops. Like, I should be further along by now. So I was battling my own like mindset, my own procrastination, my own screw ups and mess ups. I had a lot of stuff going on that's like, oh my gosh, that is not the energy of this masterclass. And so 30 minutes before this masterclass, I was like, nobody's even going to show up. This is not going to be great. And what I did was I said, if I was the version of Anna Lee that had already taught this masterclass and it helped even just one person, if I achieved this goal, if this vision had already come to be, how does that version of Anna Lee show up right now? And I took the time that I needed to get my right mindset, to say a prayer, to get tuned in to my own confidence. And I took a minute to make sure that my energetics were correct, that I was leading from example, that I was role modeling this work. And I thought about how I would show up in a room if I was confident, if I had already achieved my goal. I thought about the actions that I would take and how I would problem solve and how I wouldn't let a little roadblock or a little mistake hold me back. And that allowed me to show up as if I'm already her, because I am. It's already within me. And the strengths that you need to achieve your goals are already within you. You just need to be mentored and guided and supported from your support system to be able to operate like her. And a lot of that starts with how you lead yourself. So I just wanted to leave that message with you. But you should have received an email. And if you haven't, comment below, let me know so I can make sure you get it. In the email, you have the handout that goes with this class. But there's also an ebook that dives deeper in all of these different topics. So go check it out. Go learn more about it. And if you would like to explore receiving mentorship or business coaching or being a part of a mastermind of women who are focusing on how alignment can magnify and catapult the results that you're getting in your business, send me a message either here on Facebook or on Instagram. I hang out at Bold Empowerment. I would love to connect with you and we can have a voice conversation to see if how I can support you in answering any questions that may have come up, or see if there's anything that I can do to support you in your next steps. But don't forget, we're doing a giveaway right here in the Bold Empowerment Movement Facebook group. So if you haven't yet, all you need to do to enter is to post a picture of yourself and introduce yourself and your business so that we can begin supporting each other and getting to know each other here in this Facebook group. And then if you watched the replay of this masterclass or caught it live, you got an extra 5 entries. So I will be doing a giveaway for a free private coaching session, and I will randomly draw a winner tomorrow. So I can't wait to connect with more of you. I can't wait to hear any ahas or insights you got. If you have any questions, you can share them in the comments below, and I'm happy to reply in the comments or send me a direct message, and I would love to have a conversation with you. And It would mean so much to me, and I would love to hear your feedback. Let me know what your biggest ahas and your biggest takeaways were so that I can get even better at my craft and get even better at teaching this in a way that will be impactful for you. I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you so much for being here live, and I hope you have an incredible day. We'll see you soon.